Lauren Ashley Burke was born in Marietta, Georgia on August 11, 1989, to James Burke and Vivian Gershon. She graduated from Walton High School, attended Auburn University, was an active member of the Delta Gamma sorority, and played lacrosse. Lauren studied graphic design and art. She aspired to have a career in photography and marketing. On the evening of March 4, 2008, Lauren left her boyfriend's dorm and headed for the library of Auburn University. She was planning on studying with a friend. At the same time, Courtney Lockhart was on the campus looking for people to rob. Lauren would sadly never make it to the library. At around 8 p.m., Lockhart saw Burke walking to her black 2001 Honda Civic. He confronted her, pointed a revolver at her, and ordered her into her car. Burke got into the front passenger seat while Lockhart got into the driver's seat. She handed him $200 in cash and pleaded for him to leave. Lockhart abducted Burke, driving with one hand on the steering wheel and the other pointing the gun at her. As they left campus, Lockhart ordered Burke to take off her clothing. Burke complied with Lockhart's demand and undressed. Lockhart later claimed that he made her undress so that she wouldn't do anything or make any crazy moves. He also said that he never thought about having sex with her. Lockhart drove Burke around downtown for about 30 minutes, passing shops, restaurants, and bars. During that time, he complained about his misfortunes and unemployment to Burke. Lockhart's later confession indicated that Burke tried to talk him out of the crime repeatedly and asked if he would shoot her. As Lockhart drove Burke along Alabama Highway 147, Burke's boyfriend called to check on her. Lockhart allowed her to answer the phone, but demanded that she make up a story to cover up his crime. Burke was forced to claim that she had forgotten about the planned study session and abruptly hung up. Her boyfriend later said about the call, quote, "At the time, I didn't think about it that much. Looking back at the phone call, wow, I should have realized that something was up," end quote. As Lockhart became frustrated, Burke attempted to escape by opening the passenger door and leaping from the moving vehicle. As she fled, Lockhart shot her. He later claimed that the shot was fired unintentionally, while prosecutors argued that he intentionally killed Burke. Burke was shot at close range, with the muzzle of the gun inches away from her back. The .38 caliber bullet entered the back of her left shoulder, pierced both of her lungs, and exited through her upper right arm. In addition to being shot, Burke was also injured by the fall from the vehicle. Witnesses reported hearing 2 shots and seeing the nude Burke jump out of the car. Burke, who was naked except for a pair of socks, stumbled to her feet and waved down help. She was crying and covered in abrasions and blood. As witnesses turned back to help Burke, they saw Lockhart idling in the stolen vehicle before driving away. Lauren was now lying on her back in the middle of the road and was reportedly taking deep, slow breaths and gasping. Someone called 911 at around 9 p.m. First responders attempted to save Burke and transported her to East Alabama Medical Center. She arrived at the hospital at around 9:35 p.m., where she was later pronounced dead. According to the doctors that treated her, she bled to death from the gunshot wound. After leaving Burke on the road, Lockhart stopped at a Chevron gas station on North College Street. At 9:17 p.m., he used her stolen credit card to purchase gas. He then used the gas to douse the inside of Burke's car and then drove to the Hinton Field parking lot. He attempted to set the car on fire to destroy evidence, but was unsuccessful. He then left to get a Burger King bag to use as a fire starter. After getting the bag, he set the car on fire and left campus in his own vehicle, but later returned to check on Burke's car. Lockhart was satisfied with the fire and then headed back to Alabama. At around 9:30 p.m. on March 4th, police and firefighters responded to a call about a car on fire on Auburn's campus. The fire was extinguished and investigators recovered a .38 caliber bullet under the driver's seat. Police ran the car's registration, finding that it was owned by Burke's father, James. After receiving a call from the police, Mr. Burke drove to Auburn, where he identified Lauren's body. On March 7th, Lockhart was pulled over by Phoenix City Police Officer Dale Richards after speeding through a construction zone on Alabama Highway 80. After calling in Lockhart's information, Officer Richards learned that investigators wanted to speak with him. Richards asked Lockhart to exit the vehicle, but he resisted. He struggled with the officer, managed to get away, and then drove away on Somerville Road, starting a police chase. The chase, which involved 4 police officers, reached 80 miles per hour. During the chase, Lockhart threw his pistol out the window. He abruptly stopped the vehicle and opened his door about half a mile away from Glenwood School. Officer Richards' police bike hit the door, causing the officer to fly over the handlebars and onto the road. Lockhart then ran into the woods, where officers caught up with him. After several unsuccessful requests to get on the ground, he finally complied. After handcuffing Lockhart, officers took Burke's iPod and cell phone. Later, officers found a .38 caliber shell casing and a t-shirt with blood spots when searching his car. Lockhart eventually confessed to murdering Burke and committing several other crimes during a month-long violent crime spree. His additional crimes were as follows. In February 2008, he robbed a convenience store and shot at the store clerk. On March 5th, he robbed a woman in the parking lot of a LaGrange, Georgia nursing home. On March 6th, he robbed a 27-year-old woman in a Sam's Club parking lot in Columbus, Georgia. He compelled the woman to give him her purse by pointing a gun at her 3-year-old son's head. On March 7th, he attacked a 72-year-old woman in a Walmart parking lot in Newnan, Georgia. He hit her on the back of the head, held a gun to her head, and shoved her onto the floorboard of the car. He began to back out of the parking space, but realized that a witness followed him. He then ran to his vehicle and fled. Lockhart was indicted for murder during the commission of a robbery, murder during the commission of a kidnapping, and murder during the commission of attempted rape. He pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. The trial began on November 8, 2010. Prosecutors argued that Lockhart kidnapped and attempted to rape Burke and then intentionally shot her. Prosecutors also tried to present evidence about Lockhart's dishonorable discharge from the military and evidence of his other crimes, but Judge Walker did not allow it. Lockhart's defense attorneys argued that their client had mental illness due to his military service and that the shooting of Burke was accidental. Lockhart was part of a brigade based at Fort Carson, Colorado, that saw some of the worst fightings in the Iraq War. The company deployed to the city of Ramadi in the Sunni Triangle in 2004. At the time, it was the deadliest region of Iraq. 64 soldiers in his brigade died in their year-long tour, including Lockhart's best friend and mentor, Sergeant Neil Prince. The attacks rarely let up. On an especially deadly day, an enemy mortar landed in the hatch of one of his unit's 4-person howitzers. 3 men were burned alive. Lockhart said in a statement, quote, "We all just had to stand there and watch them die. We couldn't do anything. The fire was too hot. We just had to wait. Those guys, there was nothing left of them but their dog tags. I used to go to sleep looking at the ceiling thinking, okay, a mortar's gonna come through tonight and kill me." End quote. After 6.5 hours of deliberation over 2 days, the jury found Lockhart guilty of robbery, kidnapping, and capital murder. They did not find that Lockhart attempted to rape Burke or that the murder was especially heinous and cruel. The jury recommended that Lockhart be sentenced to life in prison, but Judge Walker overturned it. On March 2, 2011, Lockhart was sentenced to death by lethal injection. The judge cited Lockhart's criminal history as a reason for imposing the death penalty on him. The jury had been unaware of Lockhart's crime spree and hostile conduct while in the military. Judge Walker concluded that had the jury been aware of the additional facts known to the court, their sentencing recommendation would have likely differed. Walker also argued that Lockhart's kidnapping of Burke weighed in favor of the death sentence. Quote, "The victim was alone, unarmed, and Lockhart chose her at random. The kidnapping is even more egregious because she was taken from a college campus, a place where students should feel safe, and forced into her car. Lockhart forced her to undress and held her at gunpoint to prevent her escape." End quote. After his conviction and death sentence, Lockhart appealed to the Alabama Court of Criminal Appeals. The court upheld his conviction and death sentence in August 2013. As of this recording, Courtney Lockhart remains on Alabama's death row.